What?
Inside season 5.
Episode 3 of Outlander. This felt very different when I first read it, and I at first, I have to admit, I was unsure of it. I thought, wow, how does this fit? It feels very different, but we were very lucky. It's a very strong script, and Jamie Payne, who directed it,
It's very strong.
Really took it on board, and it celebrated the fact that it feels different. It's a little chapter outside of the biggest story, but actually has a lot of repercussions further down.
Claire and I will go see this Mr. Beardsley.
There's something very strange about this place, Jamie. God, those goats. I'm just remembering every time. So there was those goats in the living room, and every single time they said action and we were about to walk in, they would relieve themselves. Every single time.
All of the sort
all of
smelling,
the smell acting was
real.
real.
And
it was pretty gross.
It just sort of put you in that. It was such a sort of odd. These characters are so strange, and to have this man on the table who's sort of covered in sores and wounds, and his breathing, and it's a very unsettling episode.
I think that being on a show for this long, having those episodes that are slightly different and that feel almost like another genre, or it just gives us something different to do as well, which is always really gratifying because you feel like it keeps you fresh and it keeps you interested. And, we had to put a lot of trust into Jamie Payne's hands. He just has a very clear vision of what he wants, and you feel very safe in his hands. So
safe to explore. And and as you said, you get to see Jamie and Claire taking on board a challenge or a situation and sort of working through it together. And that's what they do really well. They work well together.
You need my help.
Always have.
Well, they don't want to leave each other.
Yeah.
I feel that's the really overriding thing, is they don't want to leave each other, and necessity has them part, I think.
I think that's a great thing about their relationship in season 5. They are in a completely different place. And as the audience, I think you can feel more settled in it. You know that they are very strong now. They've overcome so much together. And you do get to see a little bit more of why Roger and Bree are together in season 5. You haven't really had much time to invest in their relationship, and now you really see why they love each other and why they always come back together. So yeah, it's just not much needs to be said. I think they're good at imparting strength into each other, I think. Even though you can see afterwards how Bree's really feeling, again, she's like, you've got this, it's going to be okay. But she's petrified because she knows that Roger isn't necessarily the best warrior that ever was.
It makes the stakes higher when they do part, when they do go, because you have seen a bit more of their foundation. You do get to see a lot more of why they love each other, what makes them tick as a relationship. When they leave, you should be rooting for them to come back together again. It's a fresh look at their relationship.
And there's an interesting frustration that comes in there too, because again, you've got these people who don't belong in that time, and actually, in terms of the sex of them, Brianna actually would be the more suited one to go off to war, whereas Roger would probably be the more suited one to, it starts the scene with him singing to Jemmy. So it's just a really interesting role reversal. Yeah. So
well, we'll see. He might become the man that he's supposed to by the end of it all.
Coucou les addicts, c'est Aurélie du site Outlander Addict et j'ai un message pour vous. Si cette vidéo vous a plu, n'hésitez pas à vous abonner à la chaîne, à mettre un like ou à partager cette vidéo sur vos réseaux en cliquant sur le bouton partager qui se trouve juste en dessous. Pour prolonger votre expérience, je vous encourage à visiter régulièrement mon site internet outlander-addict.com. Vous y retrouverez des traductions, des articles et plein d'infos et d'actualités sur Outlander. À très bientôt.